Why does Odysseus meet Agamemnon? The Odyssey explained. Warning: this video contains spoilers for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, Homer's The Odyssey, and the Iliad. One of the most emotional and meaningful moments in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey doesn't happen during a battle. It doesn't involve Poseidon, or the Cyclops, or even the famous Trojan horse. Instead, it takes place in the Underworld, where Odysseus comes face to face with the ghost of a man he once fought beside during the Trojan War. That man is Agamemnon, the former king of Mycenae and commander of the entire Greek army. But why does Odysseus meet Agamemnon? Why is this meeting so important? And how does a conversation with a dead king completely change the way Odysseus returns home? Let's explain. To understand this meeting, we first need to know why Odysseus travels to the Underworld in the first place. After escaping the enchantress Circe, Odysseus is told that no living person can show him the safest way home. Only one soul possesses the knowledge he needs: the blind prophet Tiresias. Following Circe's instructions, Odysseus sails to the edge of the world and performs an ancient ritual to summon the spirits of the dead. His main goal is simple. He wants Tiresias to reveal how he can finally return to Ithaca. But once the spirits begin to appear, Odysseus meets many familiar faces from the Trojan War. Among them is Agamemnon. The moment is heartbreaking. Not long ago, Agamemnon was the most powerful king in Greece. He commanded thousands of soldiers. He led the Greek alliance against Troy. Kings obeyed him. Heroes fought under his command. Now, he is only a spirit wandering the land of the dead. Naturally, Odysseus is shocked. The last time he saw Agamemnon, they had both survived the Trojan War. He expected the great king to have returned home safely. Instead, he discovers that Agamemnon met a tragic end. Agamemnon tells Odysseus the terrible truth. After 10 years of war, he finally reached his palace in Mycenae. He expected a joyful reunion with his family. Instead, his wife, Clytemnestra, and her lover, Aegisthus, had been secretly plotting against him. The moment Agamemnon let down his guard, they murdered him. Some versions of the myth say he was killed while taking a bath. Others say he was trapped in a robe or a net before being struck down. Whatever the exact details, the outcome is the same. The man who survived the greatest war in Greek history could not survive his own homecoming. For Odysseus, this revelation is devastating. He realizes that defeating Troy wasn't the end of the journey. Returning home could be just as dangerous. Then Agamemnon gives Odysseus the advice that changes everything. He warns him never to trust appearances. He tells him not to announce his arrival immediately. And most importantly, he urges him to be careful about whom he trusts. Agamemnon had believed that his palace would welcome him with love. Instead, it became the place where he died. Odysseus listens carefully. At that moment, he understands something many heroes never do. Sometimes the greatest dangers aren't waiting on distant islands. Sometimes they're waiting at home. This conversation becomes one of the turning points in the Odyssey. When Odysseus finally reaches Ithaca, he doesn't march into his palace wearing armor and declaring victory. Instead, with Athena's help, he disguises himself as an old beggar. He quietly observes everything around him. He watches the suitors who have taken over his home. He discovers which servants remain loyal. He secretly reunites with his son Telemachus. Only after understanding the situation does he reveal his true identity. Many scholars believe that without Agamemnon's warning, Odysseus might have rushed into the palace and been overwhelmed by more than 100 armed suitors. Instead of becoming another tragic king, he becomes a patient strategist. In many ways, Agamemnon's death saves Odysseus' life. But there's another reason Homer includes this meeting. Agamemnon serves as Odysseus' mirror image. Both men fought together at Troy. Both spent 10 years away from home. Both dreamed of seeing their families again. Yet their destinies couldn't have been more different. Agamemnon returned openly and trusted everyone around him. Odysseus returned secretly and trusted almost no one. Agamemnon expected celebration. Odysseus expected danger. Agamemnon was betrayed. Odysseus uncovered betrayal before it was too late. By placing these two kings side by side, Homer shows us that wisdom isn't just about defeating enemies in battle. It's also about knowing when to be cautious. Christopher Nolan emphasizes this contrast beautifully. Agamemnon's appearance isn't simply there to tell another tragic story. It's there to prepare both Odysseus and the audience for what lies ahead. Without this warning, the final act of the Odyssey will feel very different. The meeting also explores one of the epic's deepest themes. War doesn't end when the fighting stops. The choices made during war continue to shape people's lives long afterward. Agamemnon won one of history's greatest victories. Yet he still lost everything that truly mattered. His story reminds Odysseus and us that coming home safely requires more than courage. It requires wisdom, patience, humility, and the ability to recognize danger even in familiar places. Perhaps that's why this meeting remains one of the most important scenes in the entire epic. Odysseus enters the underworld searching for directions. But he leaves with something even more valuable. A lesson that will ultimately save his kingdom, protect his family, and allow him to reclaim the life he almost lost forever. So, why does Odysseus meet Agamemnon? Because Agamemnon's tragic fate becomes the greatest warning of Odysseus' journey. His story teaches Odysseus that surviving the sea is only half the battle. The real challenge is returning home wisely. What do you think? Do you believe Odysseus would have survived if he had ignored Agamemnon's warning and announced his return to Ithaca immediately? Or was meeting Agamemnon the most important turning point in his entire journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your theories and discuss them with you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more The Odyssey Explained videos, Greek mythology stories, hidden details, character breakdowns, and Christopher Nolan analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.